Danny, you are very excited for the new God of War game.
I am, and I have been for years. I've been excited for this new God of War game before it was ever announced.
Tell me a little bit about what your experiences with God of War used to be.
God of War is a formal video game experience that I had in college. My roommate and I, our sophomore year, would, sit in front of the old Xbox for just hours and hours. Or actually, I guess it would have been I guess the original was like PS2, right?
Mm-hmm, the PS2.
Yeah, so we sat in front of that thing for hours and hours, and we were trying to beat it on the highest difficulty, and that was like an entire semester for us, was going through that. So just a really integral part of my gaming experience. And I think this new one has a lot of themes that are really resonant with our brand in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, the way that people talk about this game is that it's God of War grown up. All of the developers, all the critics, all the fans who love this game during their adolescence and kind of their early adulthood years, they're now 40 years old. They've got responsibilities, and it looks like Kratos, God of War himself, it looks like he's got some too.
He's now the bad, sad, mad dad.
Yes, this goes into our long string of well-loved bad, sad dad games, including, of course, Heavy Rain. And games about protecting your son.
Yes.
Very important.
Hyper important. So this is kind of the perfect game for us to play, and we've got kind of an early copy. I guess we're not bound by any NDAs here, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because Kotaku's got their review up, and there's footage, right?
Yeah, they do their own thing. This is just the Range Touch special preview copy.
Yes.
Which is pretty special. Anyway, so I guess we just, people love to hear us talk about games, but I think we should probably just jump right into God of War here.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's check it out. Let's check out God of War 2018. I can't hold it in. I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you excited? All right.
God.
Well, let's just get in here.
Hit the damn buttons, yeah.
Wow, so this is him, huh?
Huh.
All these years later.
All these years later, man, in really good shape for that period of time that's elapsed, right?
Yeah, so how much time has gone on between God of War 3 and this game?
Well, are we assuming it's in real time? So we're looking at 10 years or something?
It must be. I guess he wants to I guess he's suicidal? Is that what we're getting here?
Mm-hmm.
That I guess he's lived so long after he murdered all those gods in the God of War
What
games.
else does he have to do?
Yeah, what else is left?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, got a little. This is some interesting storytelling, which I think can only really come in 2018, where you start with this suicide at the very beginning, and you're like, "How did we get here?" Right?
Yeah, how did we get here? And I guess he got here on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember boats in the first games.
Yeah, we didn't see any nautical stuff.
It's kind of, I get it. It's 2018, Sea of Thieves, Assassin's Creed, all of that kind of stuff.
Wow,
I get it.
These enemies are so great. It's such kind of a callback. I think we're getting a callback not just to the first game, but to kind of Jason and the Argonauts, all of those claymation type aesthetics that we saw.
Oh, yeah, the way they kind of move around.
Mm-hmm. It's a little herky-jerky in some ways, but it's still very detailed.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Do you think the PS2 could have done this? That's a question.
Not with all the particle effects, right? Look at the waves in the background. And here's the really interesting thing. By the way, it's Kunzelman that's controlling Kratos right now.
Yeah.
So how does the combat feel?
I'm gonna say, at risk of being an iconoclast, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's nearly perfect. I really kind of can't imagine what. They had a big job ahead of them, right? How do you adapt to 2018 while keeping? Oh my God! Oh look, check out this. This is straight up amazing storytelling, Far Cry style, right? Having all of this stuff happen in the middle of it. But anyway, yeah, they had a big job ahead of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've got The Last of Us. You've got BioShock Infinite. You've got all these prestige video games that have come out since that original trilogy. And how do you adapt Kratos to that? I don't know, this world that we live in.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I think it's just kind of interesting to go so old school, which we all kind of saw telegraphed with the title, which is identical to the PS2 title, right?
Yes, yes. Throwback to God of War itself.
So interesting. Oh, and you got to kind of do a little quick time event. to
Yeah,
open
I
this.
like the idea that, yeah, because the original games, right, they were known for their kind of like, I don't want to say bad, but, bad QuickTime events.
And there are chests in this game, which I don't think appeared in the original God of War
No,
series.
no, the original God of War, I mean, it was a big time for chess. Ninja Gaiden, of course, for the Xbox, Ninja Gaiden Black and all that, like, chess that could just kill you straight up style. But yeah, no, not a lot of that. in the
And I
original
actually
God of War.
think that Ninja Gaiden, that's the first instance in all gaming, of a chest that could kill you.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And not like most people think, it wasn't Dark Souls that like started that. That was Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah. I actually have no idea where to go here.
Yeah, I think there's like some wreckage down the hallway. And I think you attack it. Oh yeah. God, look at the
Oh, wow.
the particle. I feel like playing this game is constantly finding secrets.
Well, that's there's a lot of the previews have said this game is a lot like Zelda. It's a lot like Dark Souls, and I see that already, right? Like, if there'd just been a little thing that said illusory wall ahead here, I'd be like, oh, that's, this is just like Dark Souls. Gosh, and this is a game that's teaching you how to play it at the very beginning, right? It's saying, look, you're going to have to figure it out yourself. We're not going to hold your hand.
Yeah.
Miyazaki probably
there's
is gonna have to
blocking
learn a
in this
lot.
game, which
Yeah.
I think the original God of War, you could only attack.
Well, because look at this. I mean, look, I can roll, but I can't move while I'm doing it. It's a real cost-benefit analysis that you have to perform anytime that you want to block, which is perfect. I mean, the PS2 just couldn't handle that, right?
Sure.
It was a simpler time. a simpler game.
Whoa!
Gosh,
That thing is gorgeous.
that is this. You know what? I really think that Bloodborne is a beautiful game, but I mean, it's very hard to compare it now. And look at what I'm having to do here. I mean, look, I'm really having to
Well, I like
manage my position.
how it told you, hey, press L1 to block, and I think that's exactly what you're supposed to do, because it's kind of telegraphing what it's doing.
Let's see. Let's find out. Oh yeah. Oh, but the double bite. It says they're saying, listen, you know what's going on here? You think you know? That's not what's going on here. I mean, this is a perfect opening level for this IP. I just can't. Let's see here. Let's see what happens.
You got to do it when the ears flicker.
Got a
Yep.
block? Boom. Look, perfect boss design. And look, we're already into a boss. I mean, this is a strong commitment.
Yeah. Whoa! And then a little mini game. I
a
like how
mini
they've
game.
started calling them mini games. They used to be QuickTime events, but like I guess here in the year of our Lord 2018. Whoa!
Oh! Whoa!
This is like taking
Oh, I
cinematic
got bit.
gaming to the next step, right?
It really is. That thing's health went right back up because I
man.
failed the minigame. This is a game that just is punishing if you don't pay attention to the mechanic.
This is a game that's like, I hope you've been gaming since college.
Yes, I hope that you've been you need to be a real gamer to play this, I think. Like, we're what, 5 minutes in, and that
Yeah.
is brutally clear? I don't know. I think this is exactly what the gaming world needs. We need serious games for real players, We for people who aren't just walking off the street. I want to be rewarded for being mature.
Yeah.
And this is a game that's rewarding me for being mature, I think.
Which, it's interesting, we have not yet been introduced to Kratos' son, which almost begs the question, like, do we have the son in the game?
Wow, do you think this is going to be like a
whole arc, right?
Oh no, I was gonna say just like a Metal Gear Solid 2 scenario where they said like, oh, it's gonna be about Solid Snake, it's gonna be about Solid Snake. Like, oh, it's gonna be about Kratos and his son, it's gonna be about Kratos and his son. There's no son in the game.
Oh my god, and the game begins with Kratos, committing suicide. Maybe that's like 2 weeks later, right? So maybe Kratos commits suicide and it's his son the rest of the game.
Oh, gosh. I mean, if that's true, that's huge spoilers, right?
Yeah.
And look at this. This is a really interesting kind of. You know, you would think an Assassin's Creed or something like that would have one of these mini games where you just walk really slowly. But, I mean, this is about. There's something about taking the weirdness of this world and you say, listen, this is the world we're in. This is it. This is how it works. And you have to walk slow. You know, you can't just run as fast as possible.
Really quick transition there.
Yeah.
I know
Or
what
move
you've
him.
done.
Flip it through.
You know, we've talked about in Planescape how we begin and the character already has a history.
Yeah.
Like, this is where we're seeing that here, too, right? And it's interesting. That's how far ahead of the curve Planescape was, because I think the rest of kind of AAA gaming is only getting to this in 2018. The idea of, don't start off the character tabula rasa, have a history. That character knew who we were. I know who you are, Spartan, right? Which makes sense because we know who that character is, too. Oh my gosh, that's friendly fire.
I know, killable friendly NPCs.
Mm-hmm. This is dark. This is a darker game.
Yeah, it's a more mature game. I mean, even Bethesda won't allow you to kill some of your friendly NPCs, right? Like Skyrim breaks if you try to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't even work. It's not even like a good game. But here, like Kratos, you are Kratos.
Mm-hmm. Oh, these kind of little harpy flying enemies.
Yeah.
I will say, where are these
dudes
people
around.
running to? I think they're just running.
I mean, look, sometimes you just have to, it's kind of like going to a movie theater and you just surrender yourself to the magic of cinema. Mm-hmm. I think this is a moment where you surrender yourself to the magic of video games. Mm-hmm. The seriousness, the verisimilitude, all that stuff, very important for some parts of the game and not important for others. And I think probably some of the most important stuff you can do as a designer and developer is figure out where that sweet spot is.
Another chest. Got them red orbs. What do you think the red orbs are? Because in the last game, in the first game, my memory was there were green orbs and blue orbs. And there were no red orbs.
I mean, maybe there's some sort of currency
or a rage mechanic.
Oh. I mean, I just kind of like the idea of the game's not telling us, right?
Yeah.
It says, listen, don't worry about it. Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
And the game just let me get comfortable, too, you know? It was like, hey.
Oh, man, you're about to get 8. Oh,
so I have to hit a
mini
button?
game, yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta hit it fast. You gotta hit it fast.
I love these throwbacks, right? The idea of, like, remember? Do you remember
Street Fighter? Do you remember, like, wailing on the circle button repeatedly? Because that's what we're harkening back to here, right?
Well, we're just also harkening back to the other God of War games, right? Which did this, but with, like, no storytelling, no narrative. Like, why were you wailing on the circle button, right?
No,
like,
it was just a button on a screen. There wasn't even any
context.
Any context, yeah.
But now look, like this is all context.
Yeah,
he is strong.
If you don't hit the circle button, you will get 8.
Yeah, there's none of this in God of War 2 or even Judgment, which was like a better game, I think, but still didn't have. I mean, it was a different time. That's the real difference. Is it was a different time in video game playing and video game design. We just didn't know what we wanted yet. And this is it, I think. I mean, this is what we've been promised for years. Remember all that stuff in the 90s and the early 2000s about choices mattering?
Yeah. And about true immersion.
Yeah. Gosh. Call me Kratos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's me now.
This will be the last bite here if you can get this cycle.
I mean, it's interesting that a game would include mechanics for speedrunners in it, right? Like, this is clearly designed for the speedrunning community to do it. And that's just about the game industry recognizing that there are lots of different ways to experience these games.
Oh, and there's swimming in this game? Something you never did in the original?
No. I mean, the PlayStation 2 couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean...
It was actually a hardware problem, I think, like liquid physics.
Yeah, this is the reason you couldn't swim in Grand Theft Auto Vice City or in Grand Theft Auto 3. Oh, there's launcher attacks?
Whoa. You can grab enemies?
in the air. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can throw
What
them right
on
into the
earth?
ground.
You yo-yo them around.
Throw them right into the dirt.
I gotta say, the animations are exquisite. Like the
Just
combat
very
animation,
smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth. I
So
can't
many
help but
lessons
respect it.
have been learned, right?
Yeah, they know what they're doing now.
Oh. So if you like smash on the X button, you're able to like pull yourself back up.
Yeah, that's kind of the only way to get back up, I think. I mean, I'm vulnerable. Kratos is vulnerable. This is how you sell that narrative, right? It's in the little moments, in the emotional tells. You can see. Look at the sweat. You know, look at the.
I love this kind of camera pan as we. Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
The drama, right?
Yeah. All right, so we're here.
What is this? Ooh.
That glowy stuff?
Yeah.
No idea. All right, so these are his chains, the chains of rage or whatever they're called.
Still has them.
Still has them. God, he cannot get rid of these chains.
Way more. Like, this is such a dialogue-heavy game.
Yeah, there was no dialogue in the first one, right? No one talked.
No one talked.
And there's going to be some puzzling, it looks like, here, so we don't get shot.
These creatures, they came from nowhere. The ships are all destroyed. All hope is lost, Spartan. Even for you.
Oh!
This is such a dark game.
It is such a dark and mature game. I don't know, I think that... So here's our first
Whoa.
save point. Here's the first save. I think this is... I don't want to go too far in each episode, you know? I think maybe this is the end of the first episode. All right, so this is the end of our first episode. We're going to keep recording, of course, but end of the first episode of God of War 2018. I mean, gosh, this puzzle is going to be awesome. But yeah, do you have any summary thoughts you want to say just about these initial first impressions?
Look, go buy this game. Pre-order this game. If there is a bundle where you can like buy it for $90 and you like get your own Blades of Chaos, you know, like that are made of styrofoam in the game, do that. Give this company your money. This is fantastic.
It's what we were promised. It's what gamers have always been promised.
It's what I promised to myself before Sony even made promises.
Sony's never made a promise before that they couldn't. They've never written a check that they couldn't cash.
Oh my
And
gosh.
buddy, they have cashed this check. They've cashed my check.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Oh. All right. Well, that's the end of the first episode. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks. Ciao.